Father, can you hear me okay? Just one quick correction. I think my name has caused quite a bit of confusion. I am Francisco Herrera, one of the older brothers of Mario. Sergio, oldest. Addie is the next. Francisco, that's me. And my nickname is Poncho. So I know I've caused a lot of confusion in the hospitals in the last weeks. Then Mario, and then our youngest, Barbara. Thank you very much, Mayor Stothert, Mayor Baird, Governor Ricketts, the invited dignitaries for attending. I just wanted to thank a few groups and a person in particular, Melissa, Carrie's sister. Thank you very much. Thank you for being by Carrie's side. To the medical staff at Bryan West and UNMC, we cannot express our gratitude to you. We know it was a challenge, realizing now more how much of a challenge it was to save Mario than we knew at the time. But with all of our hearts, we do thank you. Probably the most difficult part is having spent so much time with all of you and with these masks. I don't know that I'd recognize you. I'd recognize your eyes, the genuine caring and concern in your eyes. This hill, and Dr. Stothert in Omaha, this hill, I know it was just too much for him to climb, but thank you. I know you did everything you could. To the Lincoln, Omaha Police, law enforcement community, the Color Guard, the Honor Guard, all of our military. Mario was your brother. He was one of you. He was my brother, but it's not the same thing. Not all of us can belong, and he belonged with you. Thank you so much. We know you are hurting, and we are hurting with you. I need you to know from the Herrera family how appreciated you are. Mario was very proud of being a police officer, and we were very proud of him. When we have two other family members, the Herrera family has two other family members in the force. Carrie's brother, Tim Cronin, and my brother-in-law, Tim Kennett. So we certainly understand what you're going through. The people of Nebraska, I was the first one here to go to school in 1987 from Missouri. I came up from Missouri, and I remember being here after a couple of months and calling my older brother Sergio, and I said, Sergio, do you remember how we felt, how nice everybody was when we moved from Los Angeles to Missouri? I said, it's like that again. You won't believe it. And so I can't say that I'm completely surprised by all of the support. It is absolutely overwhelming, the amount, for sure. But I'm glad to be a Nebraskan. I'm proud to be a Nebraskan. I thank you so much for making our family feel at home. Thank you. A few words about Mario. As I was looking for things to discuss, I quickly realized that I just don't have the same experience and stories with Mario. Everybody has their own little piece. And so I'm hoping some of these stories, as silly as they are, will help complete your own picture. I'll try to keep it light. The only way I can describe what we're going through right now is that it comes in waves, and you feel like you're trying to hug a cloud or wrap your arms around a memory. There's just nothing there. But it has truly been a blessing to have known Mario. We were together, Mario and I, for 18 years, up until high school or so. But reflecting, I didn't realize quite how much we were together. We literally did everything together all the time. The first memory that I can recall, it has Mario in it. We had moved into our new house, and my older sister Addie reminded me that it was Mario's first birthday. So that's my first memory of Mario. When my mother would take my older siblings to class, she would drive them to school. I would stay home and cook breakfast for Mario. We must have been about 7 and 6. We were pretty small. And I always cooked him scrambled eggs. But what he didn't realize was that I was always trying to make fried eggs, and if I messed it up, well, it was scrambled eggs. All of my siblings in our elementary school were early birds. The four of us were. The early birds at the time were the more advanced students, the more challenged students being late birds. It just so happened that on Mario's particular year, they flipped them, and so he was a late bird. And I think the last time I teased him about that was about 2 years ago, and he still tried to defend himself. Even though he and I were not twins, we're 13 months apart, we came as somewhat of a package deal. Same clothes, same gifts, same Christmas gifts. We did quite literally everything together. Hunted rabbits, played hockey in the frozen creek behind our house with sticks and rocks. Buried our dogs together. Even buried our horse together. But mostly I remember working with Mario. Being from a farm community, there's plenty of work to be done if you want it. Although we weren't farm kids. We were hay putter-uppers, if you will. And so we had our own crew. We'd call up our buddies once we got the phone call, and off we'd go. We'd literally put up tons of hay together. On one particular event, if you're good in a pickup truck, you can get about 53, 54, and that's a big heavy load. If you're really good, you can get about 60 hay bales in the back of a pickup truck. It must have been our last load of the day because we had it considerably higher than that. And it can be dangerous. And as we slowly drove into the barn, Mario races up to the top. And as the truck is creeping through the barn, he starts to grab the rafters and walk with the truck in the opposite direction, with the truck traveling in the opposite direction. And so finally, the truck stops. And we all get out and wonder where Mario is. Well, Mario's dangling 15 feet in the air off to the side. He never let go of the rafters. We worked together as busboys and waiters at a very elegant place in St. Joe. Wood floors and antique furniture, coffered ceilings. The outfit for all of us was black pants and a black vest and a black tie. And Mario, of course, looked very handsome. And one of the more well-known patrons thought Mario was fantastic. He called him over one day, sitting at the end of his table with with his entire crew. Mr. Redmond put his arm around Mario and said, "Oh my gosh, look at this kid. This kid needs to be in Hollywood making movies." And from that day forward, instead of him waving over a busboy, he would always yell Hollywood across the restaurant. He was his favorite. Mario did have an ornery side. I did see this. Our parents would buy us Tough Skins, for those of you old enough to remember. 2 of each, right? Mario was a slim and I was a regular. When I graduated to the husky size, Mario was quick to tell me that I was fat. And I said, "No, I'm not fat. I'm husky." And he said, "Yeah, but that's what all the fat kids wear." One day we heard our little sister Barbie yelling from her room. Her goldfish had died. And so we all ran in there, my mother, Mario, and me. And she was crying. Little goldfish was sitting on a table in a little round bowl. And so she was crying. My mother said, "I'm sorry, but your goldfish has died." And then it just moved. And Barbie said, "Mom, look, it's alive." And we said, "No." Well, then it moved again. And my mom said, "Yeah, I think it is." And so I look over at Mario, and he's standing here bumping the table with his hips. We got our ears pierced together. Thankfully, we do not wear those anymore. Mario's sophomore year on the football team, he had earned a starting spot as a defensive end. I was on the other side. And my dad came home one day and he was laughing, and he said one of the dads from the opposing team said, this is after having our name called out a number of times, "Somebody needs to get a man on that Herrera guy. He's all over the place." He had no idea there were 2 of us. The team gave us the nickname Taco Crunch. When college and marriage comes, your life just changes. Your focus changes to your family, and it changes to your kids. But Mario still being the helpful one. His work schedule revolved around helping Carrie's dad with his medications and his appointments, maintenance of the house. He always wanted to be the first one to hold a newborn baby, a newborn nephew, the first one to feed them. We invited him over one day. Carlos must have been about 3 years old. My 2 older boys were a little bit older, so he could hit the stomp rocket with us. The boys could send it up about 5 feet, and Mario could, with his boots, could knock it up into the sky, and they were crazy. They ran in circles with excitement. He was indeed a terrible storyteller. We just didn't know the depths of the awfulness. He loved our mother dearly, and when she would visit Nebraska, he always insisted that she stay with him and Carrie. He was holding her hand when she passed last year. Like Carrie and the kids were holding his hands in the final hours and moments. Carrie only left his side from about 2 to 5 in the morning, always returning to share the sunrise with Mario. We are all so happy that you found each other. He fell for you like a little kid. I saw it. And ever since then, it's always been Carrie and Mario, just one word, one name. and he did absolutely adore his family. And I witnessed the strength in you, Carrie, your kids, Carlos, Olivia, Addie, and Celia. There's comfort in knowing that you and the kids were there in his final moments. And it's our faith and strength that allows us to suffer like this, to endure. But our faith, in our faith, we will see Mario again, as I know he's in heaven. On the week of his shooting, the week that he was shot, Monday, Mario calls me up and he says, "Ponch, get on FaceTime, get on FaceTime." I said, "No, I don't do that stuff." He said, yeah, get on FaceTime. All right, fine, whatever. So I get on FaceTime, and there's Mario's big face taking up the entire screen. He was very proud of his top knot. And so I, up until a few days ago, had long hair too, and I showed him mine. But the sweetness was that I could hear his girls and Carrie laughing in the background, and they could hear my girls and my wife laughing in the background. On Tuesday, I had business in Lincoln, and I took the opportunity to just swing by and say hi. Nothing special, we just hung out in his basement. He showed me one of his collections. And that was it. We just said, we need to get together more often, which we always said to each other. And as I was driving back to Omaha, I was thinking, and this is the first time I've ever had this thought, I thought, this is nice. We don't have the anxieties of practices and lunches and school and homework anymore. We can just start to spend more time together, share a drink on the porch, be old together, that we had turned a page. But it was the last page, and so much has been stolen from us. I've read a lot of comments lately, but one in particular got to me. There was a family who had suffered a suicide, and Mario was one of the police officers on the scene. And the mom spoke of Mario saying few words. And I knew that she saw what I saw. There was a tenderness and a sweetness and a vulnerability in Mario's eyes. And there was a lightness in his eyes. He was an immediate friend, and I will miss that the most. As I was talking with the family, all we could keep saying to ourselves was, he did good. He affected so many people, helped so many people. He was a good kid, a loving brother, a loving husband, a loving dad. Mario, my brother, I love you. We love you. You have made us all enormously proud, and we will miss you so, so much. Goodbye.